Hi everyone, Patek here. Today's video will be about all the popular fantasy series I haven't read. To be more precise, I may have attempted reading through some of this. It may be on my TBR or not, but one thing for sure is that I haven't finished a single book within this series I'm going to mention to you. It's very clear now that fantasy is my favorite genre, and I have read quite a lot of fantasy series, in my opinion. I'm definitely proud of the quality and quantity of the fantasy series that I've read so far, but there are actually still quite a lot of fantasy series that I haven't finished reading or I haven't read yet. And as a measurement of popularity, I'm using Goodreads rating here. I'm using the number of Goodreads ratings, so at least for the first book of this series that I'm going to mention, the first book has to have 50,000 ratings at least. Yeah, that's pretty much the only requirement. So the first one that I want to mention is the Shattered Sea trilogy by Joe Abercrombie. The first book is Half a King and it has 56,000 ratings on Goodreads. Now, you all know that Joe Abercrombie is one of my favorite authors of all time, and his First Law series as a whole is my favorite grimdark fantasy novels. But despite how much I love reading the First Law series by Joe Abercrombie, I'm still quite apprehensive about trying Shattered Sea trilogy. I mean, right now, this trilogy is still on my TBR, but I think this one is targeted towards YA. It's Abercrombie, so I think his YA series will still be grim. Probably. But what makes me apprehensive about this series isn't the YA label, but it's more like the mixed things that I've heard. Because a lot of Joe Abercrombie fans have told me that if you have read the First Law series and you have enjoyed reading the First Law, you can pretty much consider the Shattered Sea as an inferior version of the First Law. And I'm like, well, why bother reading it? Maybe I'm just reading this for the sake of completionist, because other than the Shattered Sea, I have actually read everything by Joe Abercrombie so far, not counting the Wisdom of Crowds that's due to come this September. So yeah, what do you think about it? If you have read this, let me know whether I should read it or not. The second series that I'm going to mention is the Devabha trilogy by S.A. Chakraborty. The first book is City of Brass and it currently has 61,000 ratings. I have actually attempted reading through City of Brass twice. Yes. So the first time that I read through City of Brass, it was in 2019. Yeah, it was in 2019, and I stopped reading it at approximately 25% mark. And then the second time I tried reading through City of Brass is last year. And again, I stopped reading it at 25% mark. I've heard that the second book and third book improve so much in quality, but not gonna lie, I struggle a lot reading through the first book. So right now I still don't know about continuing this one or not. Then the third series I'm going to mention is the New Crobuzon trilogy by China Miéville. The first book has 66,000 ratings. I have absolutely no idea what this series is about, and every time someone speaks about it, I still have no clue what it's about. All I know about it is that it's weird, it's bizarre, and has amazing world building and prose. I'm definitely interested in this trilogy, especially because some reviewers have actually compared this trilogy to The Black Iron Legacy by Gerard Hanrahan. If you have read this trilogy, please do let me know whether I should read this one or not in the future. The fourth series on this list is Ostenart Saga by Tad Williams. It's divided into two series. The first is Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn, and the second series is called The Last King of Ostenart. So the Dragonbone Chair, which is the first book in the Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn trilogy, currently has 67,000 ratings. And honestly, this one is a no-brainer. I am definitely going to be reading this one. I have actually included this series in one of my top priority series to read within this year. It's just a matter of when I'm going to actually be reading Tad Williams books, because I have actually planned to be reading all the books in Ostenart Saga this year, but I've heard that Tad Williams has delayed the publication of The Navigator's Children to 2022 and the second part in 2023. It's still a possibility, but Tad Williams has mentioned that the word count of The Navigator's Children has gone beyond 500,000 words and it's impossible to publish it in one book. Yeah, The Navigator's Children will be divided into two parts, and the first part will come out next year, and the second part maybe will come out in 2023. And because of that, I'm not sure whether I will actually try to read through them all within this year. But at the very least, I want to try reading through Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn trilogy this year. The fifth series I'm going to mention is a popular one. It is The Legend of Drizzt by R.A. Salvatore. So Drizzt Do'Urden is quite likely one of the most popular fantasy characters that I've ever known. I haven't even read any of the books in The Legend of Drizzt. Honestly, I have always been interested in Drizzt, but the number of books in this series, I think it's almost 40 books now, it's quite intimidating. It is quite intimidating. But last week, I saw this animated trailer. It's called Sleep Sound. Yeah, it's narrated by Benedict Cumberbatch, and it is about the Legend of Drizzt. I'm going to put the link in the description. It looks incredible. Just because of that 2 or 3 minute animated trailer, I am so interested in this series now. I know that the Legend of Drizzt is divided into multiple sub-series. So right now my plan is to just try reading through the first trilogy one day and see how I feel about it, whether I should continue with the series or not. The first book is called Homeland and it has 79,000 ratings. Then series number 6 that I'm going to mention here is the Kushiel's Universe by Jacqueline Carey. This is already on my radar. This is actually already on one of my priority series to read within this year. This is a very, very adult-oriented story. But what made me interested in this series is the writing itself. I have sampled Jacqueline's Carey writing and wow, it is so beautiful. It is so beautiful just because of sampling her writing and of course hearing about the magnificent characterizations from a lot of her fans. I feel like I should at least try reading through the first trilogy. Kushiel's Dart currently has 79,000 ratings on Goodreads. Then series number 7 I'm going to mention is Temeraire by Naomi Novik. The first book currently has 86,000 ratings and well, if you're on Goodreads, you know how I feel about Naomi Novik's Uprooted. That's the only book by her that I've read so far. So right now my plan is this. I'm going to read Spinning Silver, because a lot of people have mentioned that despite disliking Uprooted, they still enjoyed Spinning Silver. And my recent book haul video kind of proved that again. So maybe if I end up loving Spinning Silver, I will try reading through this one as well. Who knows, maybe Uprooted is a one-time thing, right? Series number 8 on this list is the Shannara series by Terry Brooks. I haven't read any books by Terry Brooks. Oh, that rhymes. To be honest, the Shannara series never really captured my attention. I really love the artworks done by Maximo Netti for this series, but beyond that, I'm not actually sure what this is about. All I heard about it actually is not too positive because a lot of people constantly mention that this is a copycat of the Lord of the Rings. Yeah, that's all I know about the Shannara series, and I think it has more than 30 books in total, so yeah, this one I'm really not sure. So if you have read it, what do you think about it? The first book currently has 91,000 ratings. Then series number 9 I'm going to mention here is Strange the Dreamer Duology by Laini Taylor. I already have the first book and I'm kind of confused about this because Strange the Dreamer Duology seems to be labeled as YA series, but I have actually tried reading through a few chapters in Strange the Dreamer. It definitely feels like adult fantasy, so I'm not sure why this is labeled as YA. Laini Taylor, I'm telling you, she can certainly write. Wow! This is a duology and the first book currently has 97,000 ratings. For series number 10, it is the Dragonlance Chronicles by Margaret Weis and Tracy Hickman. I have no idea how many books are actually in this series. I think there is more than 100. I'm not sure. But this one is a classic. And quite a lot of people have told me that this series sparked their love for reading fantasy, but to be honest, it's very outdated for them now. The same readers have mentioned to me that if I try to read through them now, I think I won't be able to get through them. I mean, thinking about it, I cannot even finish Riftwar Saga by Raymond E. Weiss. The first book currently has 112,000 ratings, but I'm sure the actual popularity of this one is beyond that. So we're halfway through the list now. Series number 11 is Winternight Trilogy by Catherine Arden. This is a very high praise trilogy and the first book currently has 142,000 ratings. Winternight Trilogy has been in my TBR for quite a while now. So because I live in Indonesia, there is no winter, right? There is no winter. It's always summer or rainy season. That's it. There is no winter, there is no fall, there is no spring. So I kept on saying that I'm going to try reading through Winternight Trilogy either in November, December or January. So that means I can experience snow even if it's only an illusion. Because I heard from a lot of readers that Arden's writing is very atmospheric and you can definitely feel the cold that the characters experience. So yeah, I want it. Series number 12 is the Night Angel Trilogy by Bran Wicks. First book, The Way of Shadows, currently has 155,000 ratings. So here's the thing about the Night Angel Trilogy. I have really enjoyed reading through Lightbringer. There are quite a lot of disappointment I had with the series, but there is one thing about Bran Wicks' writing that really bothers me is that sometimes, and this is from my experience from reading Lightbringer, sometimes his writing can felt quite juvenile, and I really didn't like it when the writing felt that way in his books in Lightbringer. And I constantly hear from his fans that the Night Angel trilogy, which is his first trilogy, is even more juvenile than that, and I don't think I can bear through it. Right now, I'm not sure when or if I will be reading through Night Angel trilogy. There is a lot of Deus Ex Machina being used in the last book of Lightbringer, and it disappointed me so much. I actually enjoyed the ending of Lightbringer, but the execution on how the ending is achieved, I didn't like it. As for series number 13 on this list is the Reckoners trilogy by Brandon Sanderson. The first book, Steelheart, has 160,000 ratings, and I haven't read this one. You all know that he is one of my top favorite authors, but that's mainly targeted for his Cosmere books. I haven't read his Skyward series, it's already on my TBR. I haven't read Reckoners, and I also haven't read Rhythmatis and Alcatraz. One, I don't want to run out of his books to read. I always want to have a backup because I know that his writing is accessible and I know it can give me a great time. Second, there are some things about the Reckoners that I'm still not sure whether it will be for me or not, because I heard that this one is so definitely targeted towards younger audience. Next I'm going to talk about is The Witcher by Andrzej Sapkowski. I have read The Last Wish, not the novel, just the short story that's contained in the Last Wish novel. I have read that one a long time ago when I was playing Witcher 3. Because, well, Witcher 3 is one of my favorite games of all time. A lot of gamers back then told me to at least please try to read The Last Wish for context of the game. So I read through that and I really enjoyed it. Besides that, I haven't read any of the books by Andrzej Sapkowski yet. But The Witcher is actually on one of my priority series to read this year. But right now, considering how overwhelmed I am with review requests and continuously increasing TBR pile, I'm not sure whether I can actually read through them this year or not. But hopefully I will be able to read through at least The Last Wish and Sword of Destiny. Hopefully. Series number 15 on this list is Earthsea Cycle by Ursula Guin. I know this is embarrassing that I haven't read any books by Ursula Guin. I did watch the Ghibli adaptation of Earthsea and it was so disappointing. It was probably the worst Ghibli movie that I've watched. And probably it's because of that I've been so apprehensive about trying to read through Earthsea Cycle. I know it's a stupid idea to have, especially because, well, a lot of movie adaptations didn't really hold up to the original text anyway. But I know that in the future I will definitely try reading through Earthsea Cycle. We have 5 more series on this list and these are very popular ones. So series number 16 on this list is Discworld by Terry Pratchett. Okay, for this one, I have actually tried reading through Guards and Mort. Yes, both of them, I DNF both of them. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I just didn't know. People keep on saying that they're hilarious, they're funny, and every time the characters make a joke or something, I didn't laugh, I didn't even smile, and I'm not sure whether I should actually laugh at these parts or not. And it's very likely that I haven't read enough yet, because for Mort, I think I've read 40 or 50%. Yeah, I haven't finished it. And for Guards, I have read only about 30% of the book. But last year when I attempted it, it definitely didn't spark my interest in continuing. However, this is definitely not the end for Discworld, because despite my initial impression of these 2 books, which is considered by many to be the best access point for Discworld, I will still try reading through them one day. But I'm curious though, what do you think? Let's say I'm able to finish Guards and Mort in the future, and let's say that I didn't like them. Do you think that maybe this series is not for me? The first book in Discworld, The Color of Magic, currently has 330,000 ratings, but I heard that this is not a good access point for Discworld series. The next series I'm going to mention is The Dark Tower by Stephen King. The Gunslinger, the first book, currently has 550,000 ratings on Goodreads. That's a lot. I have mentioned this several times, but I have this weird pet peeve, I guess. I don't know if this is a pet peeve or not, but it's very difficult for me to click with Western settings. I'm not even sure why, it just doesn't grab my attention. I have tried reading or watched some of the most popular and well-praised Western movies or books, and they just didn't click for me. Some of course did, but the possibility is low. And I did try reading through The Gunslinger, maybe I was too young back then. I did try reading through Gunslinger back then, it didn't capture my attention at all. So yeah, we have only 3 more series on this list. The next series I'm going to talk about is His Dark Materials by Philip Pullman. First book, The Golden Compass, currently has 1.3 million ratings. That's insane. That's more than double the number of ratings that The Gunslinger has right now. I have watched the movie adaptation of The Golden Compass many years ago, but I think The movie adaptation wasn't so bad, in my opinion. But then again, pretty much all readers mentioned that the books are by far superior than the movie. And I haven't watched the new TV series adaptation. I'm not actually sure yet whether I'm going to watch them or read the books first, because right now His Dark Materials is indeed on my TBR pile. I wasn't too sure about putting this series on my TBR before because, well, because I thought this was targeted for children, but apparently a lot of people mentioned that it's true that children can enjoy this, but this can only be fully appreciated by adults. Right now, I think the second series is almost done. I think there's only one more book left. And once that's done, I think I'm going to try reading through them all. So we're almost at the end now, and for series number 19 is Percy Jackson by Rick Riordan. I have watched the abysmal movie adaptation. It was so bad, and I haven't even read the book, but the movie was so bad. And I know that the book will definitely be better than the movies, but right now I'm not sure yet whether I will actually try reading through Percy Jackson or not. Maybe I will in the future try to read it to my kids, maybe, because I heard that this is a good book for kids. But as an adult fantasy reader, I'm just not sure whether Percy Jackson will be for me or not. What do you think about it? Do you think it will be for me or not? And finally, the final series on this list is The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis. I haven't read this one. I have watched the movie. I really enjoyed the movie adaptations when I was young. And the first book right now has 2.2 million ratings. Wow. But despite having enjoyed watching the movies though, I didn't actually absolutely love the movies. I love the soundtrack though, they're really good. I have no interest in reading through Chronicles of Narnia. It just didn't grab my attention at all. So I don't know, maybe I'm making a mistake. It's a 7-book series, I think. And if you have read Narnia, let me know whether I should actually read through them or not. So yeah, that's the end of this list. That's 20 popular fantasy series that I haven't finished, or to be more precise, I haven't finished a single book within this series at all. So to end this video, my question is this: which of these 20 popular fantasy series that I definitely must try to read? And by the way, my video for the best books of 2021 so far will be released next week. I hope you will look forward to that. So yeah, that's it for me today. As always, thank you so much for your support and thank you for watching. Bye bye.